Hello there, awesome person. Welcome to this channel. This is the One Tarot channel, and today I'm taking a look at the Astral Realms Crystal Oracle. This is by Dark Moon Crystals and Prism and Fleur Design Studios. Hopefully I did not butcher that name. This is by Rock Pool, by the way. This is the publisher of my deck here. This is the front of the box. I hope you can see all the beautiful gorgeous pinks and purples, as well as the gold foiling or whatnot they put on the box. There we go. I was going to say even the moons and the crystals are supposed to shimmer, and I can't get them to, but the moons were, there we go. The moons are shimmery too on this box, just so you know. Don't know what's up with my lighting. It was doing, there we go. There we go. Yeah, so this is the gorgeous box. It shimmers. Every part of it has that gorgeous gold shimmery reflective part to it. It's a sturdy box. It's a good box. I have used this box. I have put my cards in and out of this box. I have not boxed this box yet, meaning I have not put it away yet, but I've used this deck more than several times, and nothing's looking worn or bad or anything. Very well done. Very much appreciate this quality. Also, it feels nice. It's kind of like almost velvety, sort of, like obviously not like velvet, but kind of like a really interesting finish. It opens like this, so nothing gets ruined, nothing bad happens to your cards, to your book. You don't have to fumble with the box. You don't have to play with flaps. It's just really good, protects your stuff really well. So opens like this. The inside of the box does not have any more of that shimmer, but it has this gorgeous design, and it's looking really bad on camera, but in real life it kind of has this deep warm brown, kind of brick colored with some reds, and we see the same thing on the inside of the bottom of the box as well. So very uniform, very well done. The bottom of the box, this is the bottom of the box, also has this gorgeous gold shimmery detail as well that's reflective. So just more beautiful detail. This has been really well done. This deck is really well done. I don't know who decides what goes into the design of the things like the box and the book and stuff like that, but it's just really, really, really well done. So that was the box. This is the book, and these are the cards. I want to show you the book just very quickly, and then we'll get into the cards, and then maybe back to the book, we'll see. But this is the book. It just really fits into the box really nicely. It is the size of the cards as well, just so you can see. So everything just fits really well together. Okay. The book is not large, but it does have like 119 numbered pages. It has the about, illustrator, and author, and just kind of standard info at the front, like the copyright info and stuff like that, as well as a table of contents, which is really, really useful because you can look for your card very easily through that table of contents. This book also mentions the chakra systems, or the chakra system, how to use the cards, and it does have like a couple of card spreads as well. It does include those. Chakras have actually tables, which is really cool. And for the spreads, it has a single 3-card spread and a 5-card guidance spread as well, so that's what's included. Now, this book is also colored, so the background of the pages is not just flat white. There is some color added to this. Hopefully you can kind of see. I hope that it's kind of getting picked up by the camera, because this is not white. This is definitely softly colored stuff. Each card in this book has a picture of the card. So like each description has a picture of the card, and it has the number, it has the keyword, and then it goes into a lot of information, and we'll get to that later, but basically this is the book. So I'm going to put it away for now. We're going to get back to it. I want to talk about the cards now. The backs of the cards, they are also finished, the sides of the cards, with this gorgeous finish. Again, they're looking more yellow on video, but in real life, they look more like a coppery or like a rose gold. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. The backs. And I'm trying to show you shimmering. It's very hard to kind of see, especially with the lights bouncing off, and the front of the card. And there's a lot of light reflection. Let me see if that will help. Can you see the shimmer in this card? Not that. That's just light bouncing off. Can you see that beautiful shimmer? Every card. Let me see if I can fix that. Okay, let's see. Yeah, there we go. Gorgeous. Every single card is shimmery. And you see that. You see that when you pick these cards up. So it's a soft shimmer. It's not like it's blinding you, but it's there. You can definitely pick it up. So beautifully done. They are pretty standard oracle sized cards. Here's a pen for comparison. Standard sized pen. This is the size of the cards. We do only have 33 cards in this deck, so this deck is pretty thin. The card stock is thick. It's not like extremely thick, but it's definitely not flimsy. It's definitely not thin. And it's pretty like sturdy, right? It is easy to shuffle though. These cards are laminated, but not terribly. They don't normally just fall out of my hands. They're not extremely slippery. They don't want to slide. I kind of have to push them a lot. Like that's not really sliding, that's just me pushing them. So they're not excessively slippery or anything like that. They are easy to shuffle. They are also really, really well made so that when I am working with them and shuffling them, they don't show that wear and tear so much. So they're still looking pretty like new, even though I do this to them, and I try to be careful. I try not to be too rough, but I do shuffle them. I do have to shuffle them, and they're still holding up really well. And I'm really excited about that because they're so beautiful. And like, when do you ever want this kind of thing to go, right? When do you ever want a deck to start looking like it's 5 years old after you've shuffled it 5 times? Never, right? So I mean, I really appreciate this. I feel like this deck is really well made, really well made. It's in so many different ways, like the quality of material that's been used in this deck, but also the thought that went into making this deck. The book, the cards, etc. Very good job. I really love this deck, and I definitely would recommend it to anybody who's interested in the artwork or the contents of these cards and the book. So let's actually dive into the cards now. And I know I'm all over the place a little bit, but I need to kind of reference a few things before we jump into the book. So each card is going to have a number on it. It has a keyword on it on the bottom, number on top, keyword on bottom. On the left side, it has the name of a crystal, and on the right side, it's going to have a chakra, an element, elemental energy, or like a astrological influence, okay? And all that information is also in this little book. Can you believe it? Some cards we get and it's like the bare minimum. It's like we don't even get a book, we will get like folded stapled paper, right? Here we're getting so much, not just a beautiful deck that's just seriously with the finish on the sides and everything, shimmering cards, okay, but also we get so much information. I don't have enough good to say about this. This deck is awesome, I swear to God. But anyways, so inside the book, if we take a look at, let's say, card number 11, because this is the one that I have actually here with us, this is the card of regeneration. So we're going to take a quick look at that. So regeneration. So opening the book and looking into the book. Regeneration, it's this card is the black, the card that includes the black tourmaline crystal and the planet Pluto. That's the influence in this card. This is card number 11. This stands for protection, purification, and grounding. So first, what this is going to talk about is the keyword regeneration. So it's going to talk about the act of physically and spiritually becoming anew. It is literally and figuratively shedding skin so that you can change and grow. When you are on a path toward enlightenment, it causes you to lead a life you did not lead before. And so that's what it talks about. It talks about this concept of regeneration. And as it goes on, it's going to stop talking about that and it's going to talk about either Pluto or black tourmaline. So it's going to talk either about the planetary chakra, elemental energy, or a crystal. And so here it goes into the planet Pluto and it talks about how Pluto, one planet that relates all too well to regeneration and challenging your shadow self is Pluto. So this is talking about shadow and it's incorporating the energy of Pluto into this. And then as it goes on, it talks about black tourmaline. And I just have to find it. And there it is. And so it talks about the influence of black tourmaline and how that can be part of this regeneration and how you can use black tourmaline for specifically this purpose. So it says that black tourmaline is a potent grounding stone that will shield you from negativity in any form. It takes negative energies from your person and environment, transmutes them into positive energy, then emits new, higher vibrations. And so that's what this deck is. It's highly spiritual. It's much about energy. Yeah. I mean, we are talking about an oracle deck, but some of them are kind of more like less spiritual, right? Less about spiritual concepts. Some of them get really spiritual. Like it just really depends. This is a great deck for like shadow work and just transformational type of stuff. It also has an activation guidance. So each card also will have that. And so what that is just kind of like maybe some sort of meditation or something. And with this particular one, it says, buy a plant, herb, or flower seedling of your liking. Plant the seedling, water it, and speak to it with words of encouragement every single day. Watch your seedling grow and prune it when necessary, observing how the pruning stimulates new growth and regeneration. And at the end, it finishes with an affirmation. So for this particular card, I embrace my darkness. I acknowledge the shadow that is part of myself. I call in regeneration and rebirth to cleanse all that is no longer serving my highest good. So that is just for one card. And all that information is fit onto like 3 pages, 3 sides of paper, let's say, of a small book. This is like not regular sized paper. So this probably, I don't know, I'm not even going to start like trying to compare measurements and stuff. But what I'm saying is it is packed full of so much information. It's crazy. What else can I say? Like, this just has to speak for itself. I honestly believe this just has to speak for itself. We have so much info here. We have keyword information, we have crystal information, and then we have energetic, like chakras. Like I said, chakras, astrological or elemental energies that it goes into. It gives us an activation guidance, and it gives us an affirmation for each single card. So really well done, amazing. I'm shocked at how much is in this deck, and just, I mean, it's like you get everything here. The beauty and the quality, and then also the contents of it is awesome. Yeah, so very highly recommend it. I want to say that while this deck can get pretty spiritual heavy, very kind of shadow heavy and stuff like that, you can most definitely also use it a little bit more superficially, because you can just use the keywords that are on the deck. So if you don't know much about numbers, if you don't know much about crystals, if you don't know much about astrology or chakras or any of the other stuff, you don't have to worry about that. You can just kind of use this deck and go off of the keywords if that's what you wanted. And I'm actually going to show you each card as we going through this deck so you can get an idea. But if you are interested in a 4K flip through, then check out the description in this video. I do have those recorded vertically for cell phone users and horizontally for any other screen. You can watch just card by card without talking, without review, short, high definition video, okay? So if you're interested in that, I will see you there. But if you wanted just a quick kind of like seeing the cards quickly here while I talk and all that, then feel free to. But anyway, so these are the cards. So we have regeneration, transition, trust, conviction, abundance, healing, discipline, insight, initiation, introspection, direction. So these are all like keywords you could definitely use, right? Like in a reading. Adaptability, that is so like simple, right? It's such a simple like adaptability. I'm sure in the book, if you grab the book, there would be so much more. We have air element and we have lace agate, and I'm sure you would get so much more information there. And I'm going to put this card aside because I actually want to point something out too. But you know, just going off of that keyword, you don't need to know like what does lace agate mean, what does air elemental mean. You really don't need that information if you don't want to have it. Empathy, curiosity, again, that's expression, divine love, intuition, consciousness. We do have Shakti, so that might be kind of something most people might not be familiar with. So I would say like that's one of a few cards that you might need a little bit of guidance with, but for the most part, boundaries, momentum, resolve, alignment, transcendence, clarity, cognizance, expansion. I don't know how to pronounce this one. Eudaimonia or something like that. I'm not sure what that is. Again, so that's the other card that could use the help from the book. But then like the rest of them, perseverance, perspective, intention, culmination, and deep knowing. And so like, so hopefully you can kind of see how you can use these in a reading or for yourself or something without going a little bit into the book deeper and just kind of going off of the keywords on the cards, right? If you were doing a reading, for example, and you wanted to see what these would look like being laid out, this is an example of what this would look like. Okay, so cards laid out if you were doing a reading. And I also just want to point out, lastly, one last thing about this, as far as I can tell, is if we look at these cards, the elementals, we have air, we have water. These symbols here, if you're not familiar, these are representing the element of this card. So we have, if I can find the other ones, the two other ones, there should only be two more. We have fire, and then one more, and then one more. And there should not be any more. I'm just going to double check the cards just to make sure there's, okay, no other symbols that I've missed. But yes, so these symbols on these cards, they're indicating the element. So if you're working with this deck and you want, if that's something that you want to learn, this is a great opportunity to learn. Although, I mean, I think there's better ways to learn, like what the symbols, which symbol corresponds to which element. But I mean, they are here. So this could be one way to kind of like learn that, right? Water element has the upside down triangle. Fire element has the right side up triangle, right? And then we can see that the air and the earth have triangles with a line going through them. So that's a little bit of symbology. I don't think it goes, maybe it does. I don't think it goes, like the book doesn't explain the symbols themselves. But maybe, but yeah, I'm sure it goes into the elements themselves though. So this is the deck. I really hope that you're enjoying this. I really do enjoy this deck, and I hope that you're enjoying this, watching this video. And I'm thinking if there is anything else I wanted to talk about, but I think that's basically it. So if you're on the fence about this, I hope that this video has helped. I hope that this video is helpful. And if you want to get this deck, then I totally recommend getting this deck. I love it. I love working with it. It feels really special when I am, I don't really get the sense of like, I'm tapping into some sort of energy or something. I think I'm just so like, oh my God, this is so pretty, that I just kind of feel in that space of just like aesthetic beauty. But I mean, there is a softness to them as well, like with the color, with the pinks and the whites and the crystals and everything, and just the shimmering and stuff like that. They do feel light. They do feel like that it's like a light kind of energy, maybe almost like angelic a little bit. So I can't actually say that there's no energy that's coming off of these cards. They're almost like, for me, they almost feel a little bit inaccessible because like I'm just looking at crystals. What can I pick up from this? And yet sometimes I do. Sometimes I actually get intuitive things coming off of these cards, whether I'm looking, because I'm not that familiar with crystals. I don't know what all these crystals are. I know what some of them are, but mostly I don't know what they are. So things like keywords, and then just kind of like seeing if there's anything I'm picking up from the card, the energy that I'm picking up. I can get intuitive hits, but also they just feel so kind of like ethereal, and just, you know, like, I mean, this is in the clouds, like there's clouds in the background. Can you see that? It just feels so spiritual and not of this kind of earthly plane, and just very kind of divine, and I don't even want to say like high vibrational energy, like, no, I'm not even gonna say like it's like, ooh, vibing super high or anything like that, but there is that kind of aspect to it. It's definitely like you're stepping into a bit of a different space. And can you see like how the colors in the cards are changing too? These are all upright, and even though there's like, they all kind of have the same theme, there's definitely a marked difference in the sort of colors that we're seeing as we're kind of flipping. What a beautiful deck. What a beautiful deck. Very gentle. It feels very gentle, very kind of almost inaccessible, because again, like, there's no people. We're just looking at crystals and pillars and things like this. And then there's a lot of information. Unless you know a lot about astrology and crystals and all that, it's going to be kind of like, what am I looking at? And yet it's so soft. It's just kind of feels soft, and as much as I'm like, how am I going to work with this? I'm always pulled to working with this deck. It's always pulling me back, always calling back to me. And I'm really glad I purchased it. So I think those are my final thoughts. I'm going to leave it here. Thank you so much for being here and watching. I hope that this was helpful. Again, if you want to see 4K flip throughs, descriptions for those are, links for those are in the description of this video. And take care. I'll catch you next time. Bye.